Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for October 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations, so if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, if you did not win the previous competition, I will be opening up another competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that in the next coming weeks because I have to wait for my guides to give me a sign on how they want me to proceed on that competition, okay? So I will leave it there, and with that in mind, let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is your monthly reading for October. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are. October is upon us, and let's just say it's one of my favorite times of the year. It's when the veil between the worlds becomes thinner, and it is here that we honor the ancestors even more, especially during Samhain. Receive important information, messages, downloads, really feel their presence cheerleading us from the sidelines, and also acknowledge any lessons that arose from any challenges that you may have experienced throughout the year. Now we've officially moved into glorious Libra season, a very transformative month where humanity naturally starts to celebrate and seek more light. Illumination, gratitude, developing intuition, and of course introspection are heightened themes during this month to really reflect on your journey so far, the wins you've accomplished along the way, the difficulties you overcame and turned into purpose, and of course the abundance that is yet to be harvested. We bond ever closer to nature during this time as well, as the elements really influence us to seek tranquility as we prepare to wind down, and this is the month of personal reward on so many levels. Of course, we lean into the familiar during this month. Libra season encourages us to cultivate balance in our lives and offers opportunities for justice and fairness. All that hard work, it really starts to pay off. Bigger opportunities are offered and tangible success is delivered. We also deepen relationships during Libra season and really lean into softness as we seek comfort, togetherness, and nurture our connections towards people, animals, and places that we have an affinity with. Now, you may feel called to refine your personal style this month. Pay extra attention to the aesthetics of your home life. Artistically craft something personal for yourself or friends. Really submerge yourself in your favorite music or book. Decorate your living space with art, or simply encourage your sensual side out to appreciate the beauty around you in the present moment. And although you're busy, this month really offers you a breath, a stillness within, to check in with yourself and reaffirm your path. Now, we also have Neptune's influence this month, and it may see you wanting to lose yourself in a world full of fantasy, where you cozy up with that movie I talked about, or even attend a fancy dress party as a character you desire to embody, or even plan a great escape vacation. But Libra's steady grounding will offer a spiritual detox where you mentally declutter, hold yourself accountable, and if you've been relying on any excuses to avoid something or someone, these will all fall away. It's time to get real with yourself and face anything and everything head on. Now, this astrological combination is a perfect time to advance on your dreams and your goals, and of course, make them your reality. It's also a season to seek closure on projects that are coming to a natural conclusion, relationships or environments that you've outgrown, to create space for new developments to come. And of course, it reminds us to embrace the moment due to the cyclical nature of all things. Now, the full moon this month is pretty special. It's a harvest moon, a hunter's moon, and also a supermoon all rolled into one. It occurs in the dynamic sign of Aries, so lots of passion, intensity, and driven purpose is going to affect the collective. And of course, it's also the first of 3 consecutive supermoons, which will, of course, close out the year. Definitely time to be clear in your intentions, follow your passions, and make great leaps ahead. Also, those seeking love will find increased opportunity to meet someone passionate, someone to develop a harmonious partnership with, because there's lots of dreamy energy floating about. But also, if you're already in a relationship, this month encourages date nights and raw conversations about a shared future. Also, friendships, they deepen their bond, and if there's been any misunderstandings, solutions are found. Now, I would say be mindful of the Mercury-Pluto clash on the 13th, which may actually affect you more than most, my beautiful Scorpio, because of that connection with Pluto. This could trigger tensions from things that have built up from the past. You're going to be very nostalgic during this period, so if you have been hurt in the past or had some challenges, you may reflect on how far you've come, how stronger you are because of these things, and really, take back your power on that. But also, it could trigger some challenging emotions there, and you will try to remain balanced in all of those things. But ultimately, they serve a purpose to really let go so that you can lighten your cosmic load, as it were. Now, also, this clash may, interfere with communication. Let's put it that way. So if you are expecting any important documents or communication, check hard copy mail, spam folders. This sort of clash can influence critical documents or information getting lost or being missed or being left unseen. Someone putting it to the side and meaning to get round to telling you that it was delivered, but then forgetting. Okay, so just be mindful of that. But ultimately, this month is about, reinforcing your routines, because your 6th house is influencing you during this period. So you're going to keep your life running smoothly, but also you're going to reach some very good news points at the end of the month there for yourself as well. Now, in terms of global events, look at that. Good news, Ace of Swords, something exciting is going to be delivered to you. Ace of Swords is a breakthrough, something connected to your sense of purpose, something that puts an extra spring in your step. So that's for you personally there. So I would expect to celebrate something at the end of the month there for you. But in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it. There's a lot of you that do not wish to hear it. So this is your moment to fast forward till I show the first card there. But if you've stayed on to listen to what's going on in terms of global energies, well, it's time to look to the skies as we have 6 rare active comets. The Swan Comet, the Lemon Comet, they're the most prominent. And of course, we have the mysterious 3-eye Atlas. And that will reach its closest point to the sun on the 30th of October, just in time for Halloween. Of course it will. Okay, now that can disrupt energy because, of course, the sun is all about energy. So there may be some power outages, or there may be some intense kind of energies that make you feel drained in and around that period. Comets are actually harbingers of great change and political upheaval. They disrupt the natural order of cycles. And my guides gave me specific images for the month ahead as I tapped in. And I saw a state funeral march honoring someone of national significance. Gold and red shall be their color, I was given by my guides. And we may also see a resignation of someone with influence. They leave under a cloud of speculation, and perhaps there's even a link to a media outlet's demise. Something to bank as a memory to see how it unfolds. Also, the economy may take another brief tumble. You know, that will be in the last week of October or thereabouts, but it will climb back to regain any losses. And we do have Neptune, as I said, influencing us all heavily this month, and it's often associated with confusion and illusion. Now, it will be retrograding back briefly into the sign of Pisces on the 22nd of October, right up until the 10th of December. And this really is a big deal globally. Neptune and Pisces, that combination is referred to as the era of monumental deception. But when Neptune retrogrades, it exposes the illusion. So it is here we shall see the greatest of reveals about people in positions of authority, famous people, maybe even people connected to you. Anything that has been hidden really does get exposed or come to light during this time. Now, also partnered with Mercury opposing Uranus, sextiling Pluto on the 29th and 30th of October, this is a period where there may be some shocks in store. It's all happening in and around that period, okay? So I want you to be aware of that. And this also may lead to some global tensions. They will arise, especially with talks regarding combative plans that are being mobilized. That's what my guides gave me, okay? Now, this combination also really caught my attention as, of course, Neptune and Pisces is all about water, you know, large water-related events, especially from deep surface seismic shifts. And I really hope I'm wrong on this. I really do hope I am. It's so hard to predict exact dates. Well, I find it hard to predict exact dates, but it's definitely something to keep our eye on from now until the end of the year. And I know that sounds like such a cop-out, like, yeah, in 3 months' time, it could be any time. But my guides gave me a very delicate time frame, and that is from the end of October into the second week of November. Okay, my guides keep pointing to the Cascadia Basin, across the Aleutian Plain towards the Java Trench. That's along the Ring of Fire, of course. It's a very active region. Always has been, always will be, of course. But this is a period where we're seeing increased activity and, you know, the time is nearing for something to be a little bit more critical. I hate saying that, but I have to because that's something my guides are giving me. Also, we may see a change in categories for weather systems, adding a category 6 to the scale to account for the increased weather intensities that we've all been experiencing recently. And of course, this will just factor in the spontaneity of weather systems developing. Okay, so I want you to be aware of that. It's not like all catastrophe. I feel it's just something that they are taking into account in order to factor new developments in. So I just want you to be aware of that, okay? So it's just going to be talk at this stage, and perhaps it's something that will come in the year ahead. But, you know, I will leave that there. Now, there are so many layers to energy and life in the world. I always mention this. And if there's any like endings or anything kind of coming to a natural conclusion, it is often, you know, to make space for positive new beginnings. So on a personal level, October actually means something rewarding is yours for the taking, but you're also offered a chance from the universe to invest in something new that will yield abundance. This could be a new idea, a new way of living, a lifestyle choice, a new path, you know. So I feel you will close out the year leaning into more abundance. And of course, you're going to be, you know, leaning into all that you hold dear during this time, closing out chapters that you know have run their course, reinvesting in yourself, and watching your investments. And that can be like your time, your energy. It doesn't have to be money. Those investments will yield the results of all your hard work, okay? Also, embracing unity this month, sharing your light and gravitating towards the light in others. The world definitely needs more light, and we are that spark to raise those vibrations. And I definitely see here that you are sparking all over the place at the end of the month. Something exciting coming on in, something you're going to be so enthusiastic about. It's a Page of Wands here. As I mentioned, it's news, some sort of news for you at the end of the month. It just feels like it's something you've been asking for, you know, even if it's a sign. I just feel like you're getting something super positive at the end of the month there. Now, looking at your cards, we have the Emperor. This is your protagonist energy. So you're approaching the month of October, really diligent, focused on success, honoring your time, being structured, and, not wasting your time, that's for sure. The Emperor energy is an indication of responsibilities. You have things to do. You're busy, okay? That sixth house is actually going to help you really focus on your saving plans, budgets, repayment plans, basically your responsibilities and tasks, and you're going to be structured in the way that you do things. So there could be a very methodical approach to keep your life running in the order that it should. That creates time and time to have fun. Time to go out there and enjoy activities. A lot of you will be receiving some sort of invitation to a party or an event, something that's quite exciting and will put you in the position to meet like-minded people or have really interesting, deep conversations with people who just get you and just see you. And I feel like you will actually find a friend for life, someone new coming into your world at the end of October there. This person, they talk about the big conversations like the world, why we're here, our sense of purpose, what's going on, the undercurrent. So I feel like it's more than just surface level conversations. So you meet a person who kind of like either fits into your natural social circle, or it's someone who, if you've been searching for soul tribe members, you find a friend for life in this person. And there's a lot of adventurous times ahead there. But also a lot of you, you're looking at loyalty in friendships this month too. Who's got your back? Who's your ride or die? And a lot of you, there is this independence. So spending time with the people that you hold dear, but also needing to go off and do your own thing. So I feel there's something you've got to do this month. You're strategizing, you're calculating the way, you're planning, and you're structuring the next steps ahead. You're locked onto your goals and you're going to make a real difference. You're going to be super proud of yourself, all that you accomplish. But I feel a lot of you are structuring either your time or your schedule or something in your life in order to create space for this new beginning. There seems to be either a new idea launched or a new pathway explored, or maybe it's a new adventure. Some of you may literally be traveling to a place you've never been to before, or it could be that something excites you at the end of the month that you're looking forward to. I mean, your 12th house is influencing you at the end of the month. So a lot of you, this could be that you decided to book like a tarot reading, a one-on-one personal meeting with a medium or a psychic, for example, or perhaps you are developing your own spiritual gifts and you're excited by a course of learning that may start at the end of October there for some of you. But it could also be that, you like this time of year. It is when, your interest in otherworldly things start to arise even further, like a scary movie or documentaries about the unknown. I feel there's this energy here of like looking forward to new things that interest you. And that can be connected to your 12th house. I mean, your 12th house is so many things. It's all about your spirituality. It's about your sense of purpose. It's also about help from unseen realms. So I feel during this month, you're going to feel the ancestors and someone in particular, they got your back. Okay, they're helping you move through this transition period or this change. A lot of you may have felt over the last couple of years that you've been really uprooted in some way, or you felt there's so much change, you've had to be really strict with yourself, navigate these changes, and you're like, does it get any better? Is there fun? You've had a lot of responsibility, heaviness, and you may have felt very serious over the last couple of months or years there in order to create structure in a world that keeps moving the goalposts there for you, but you're really taking leadership in your life. This card indicates that you are leading by example, but also you are powerfully making some strides towards your goals, and you're going out there and you're happening to life right now. You're not allowing life to just happen to you. So this Emperor energy indicates that, you are being brave and bold and headstrong. You're showing up for yourself. And you should be really proud of yourself there as well. Now, Six of Pentacles, lovely card to get because this indicates that, you're keeping life on an even keel. You're looking at reciprocity in your friendships. As I said, you're looking at loyalty. You're looking at your investments where you put your time, your energy. Because your sixth house, it's not just about daily routine. It's like where you invest your time. It's also this sense of value, valuing yourself, making sure that what you give out, there is a fair exchange. And if you feel it has not been that way for some time, you're setting some changes in motion to correct the balance. Okay. Also, I love the Six of Pentacles. There's a couple of energies coming through for this for you. One is, a very generous person who gives you a piece of information about something that perhaps you've been trying to investigate on or that you've been trying to find knowledge on. This person could be in a position of authority, or they may be qualified to give this advice. This person, they give you the advice for free, whatever this is. So, I mean, could be that you're having a free consultation on something, or perhaps you're just reaching out to someone for advice about something and they're like, here's all the information you need. That's for free. It's fine. And you're like, what? Normally I'd pay for this, but I feel like you're going to get something free this month. And a lot of you, it is knowledge or advice. For some of you, I mean, it could be if you work in an industry where you can get commission or a bonus or a tip, for example. I feel like this is the card of a rich benefactor or someone offering you something that is very lucrative or very generous of them. Okay, so that's coming through very strongly. I feel this is because you've been so generous with your time and your energy. It's like the universe is passing it on back to you. So for some of you, this free thing could just show up in terms of like a free coffee or someone, you know, and this is so random and it may not resonate with all of you. It can be that you're out shopping and someone says, hey, I'm just going to pay for the goods for this person. It's like they've come through on something and they're just feeling like they want to pay it forward, and you happen to be in the right place at the right time, and you know they're being guided to say, you know what, I'm just going to pay for their groceries, or I'm just going to pay it forward in some way. So a lot of you may experience something like that. It's so random, not everyone's going to experience that, but I feel it coming through. It's a very strong energy. I would say it's even like 40% energy. That's a lot. So yeah, that's coming through there. Now, the Six of Pentacles, of course, is all about balance, and it indicates that you are someone who is focused on your own needs as well as others. You're a bit of an earth angel. You like to, you know, share. Whenever you are successful, you share it with your family or your friends or your soul tribe. But the Six of Pentacles basically is you looking at untapped talent, or you know, maybe even a project that perhaps you've been meaning to come round to doing. I feel a lot of you found a way back to that already, but if you haven't, this is the month where you're going to return to a project or something that you had started to invest in, and you may learn a little bit more about it before you proceed on it, but it is something that could actually bring in new financial rewards. A lot of you as well with that Six of Pentacles, if you have something in motion, it feels like something from your past informs your present. So it could be that if you work in an industry where you can get either a tax rebate or you get a royalty or a commission on something, something from your past comes back to inform you in the month of October. This could be like if you are someone who's a freelancer, or someone who is looking for like an opportunity, a job. It could be someone that you know or used to work for re-employs you or wants to offer you a deal or tells you about an opportunity that is going to be very lucrative for you. So if you're currently looking for a job and you're putting your resume out there, a lot of you may have come up with the old excuse that you are overqualified. Now, of course, you are overqualified because you're very knowledgeable, you're very established at what you do, you're very talented, very gifted, and you care about whatever industry it is that you're working in. But a lot of industry right now, because economically things have been a little bit volatile, you know, they may have been telling you when they look at your resume, you're overqualified, which basically means they love your talents, you're at the top of your game, but there's no money in the budget to factor in your skill set. You're a pro at what you do, and they do not expect you to take less than you truly deserve and desire. And of course, you shouldn't. So I feel a lot of you, if you've been searching for a job for a long time, I do see here a role coming on in. And Ace of Swords could be connected to communication. Doesn't have to be. It's definitely connected to your sense of purpose. And the Page of Wands, it feels like you could migrate skills. It feels very new. It feels like it could be almost like in a sector that is connected to what you do or that you're knowledgeable in, but somehow it's very different. It feels exciting. It feels like every day is like new and progressive, very artistic, or you get to put your own stamp on this, whatever this is. And Page of Wands, you know, I feel like it is something bold and new and daring and innovative, and I feel like you're excited to see where this journey, because you see it as a journey. You're like, okay, well, let's see how it goes, because I feel like you're curious about it. And actually, I feel like you really grow through this role into a very high-ranking position again. The title may be a little bit different than what you're used to, but the money feels like it's kind of the same. There may be a small increase, or there may be like a small benefit that is offered with this role, but it feels like you're migrating. You're at a same kind of level, but there's room for maneuver. There's room for more. Okay. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. If a lot of you have been working in a company, working towards a promotion, this is a strong month where, I would say there's talk about promotion, because we have that Emperor energy here. I mean, the Emperor is in your protagonist energy. You're a natural born leader. So the Emperor is in the resistance position at this moment in time. So it can be that, a role is going to be made available. It's not quite formalized yet. There's a process, but in an appraisal or a review period, because you have the Judgment card there. So that could be that you're going into a review. I feel like you may hear that there's new hires, but also there is someone leaving a position that leaves an opportunity for you to step into that role. And I feel like they already want you for that role. So there is a promotion coming for you, but in your future is what I see. Now, Five of Pentacles, there may be some talk about companies cutting back or making some concessions and just being more cost effective in the working environment. And I just see either a person, middle management, or someone leaving a position, but it feels very much like the role will be reimagined, and I feel it could be offered to you, okay? And I feel it's something that you will really thrive in. So there is like a stepping stone going on here, but it feels like it's formulating, it's being structured at this moment in time. And of course, if some of you feel like you've come as far as you can go in your industry, if you do work for a company, a lot of you could be putting your resume out there, but I just feel like you're holding on. For some of you, it's like you're holding on to the end of the year, or, with that Ace of Swords, it's like you're putting your resumes out there to see if there's anything that brings in an increase in what you feel you already have right now, and the right opportunity will arise. And of course, you'll negotiate a better financial deal, but it feels like it's an alternative path, because that Five of Pentacles is there. I mean, it's in the resistance position, which means it's super positive. It means, that things that have been challenging return to a better time. There's a recovery of finances there. So even on a personal level, a lot of you are managing your finances to a very high degree. You're staying on top of things. I feel a lot of you may even be like moving money around, portioning it off so you don't touch it during this period. You're being stricter with your finances, that's for sure, because a lot of you could be learning about generational wealth or certain financial structures, getting advice or learning advice. If you're like learning things online, always go to someone who has like qualifications to guide you in the right structure. So if you're setting up your own business or setting up a financial structure, make sure you do your due diligence. I know you will, my beautiful Scorpio, because that's who you are. You're the investigator of the zodiac, but it's good to get the knowledge before you lead on something. So that's coming through there as well. Okay, so just in terms of career, I see there is breakthroughs and developments there, and I feel there is a rebirth of energy. Things get a little bit more exciting in and around the working environment if you're in a career, even if you work for yourself. This card can indicate that you are your own boss, and there's new projects or new ideas that you're excited about moving ahead on or launching at this time. It's really going to help you have a breakthrough there. I feel like you see things clearly. You're taking accountability for your actions and your ideas. You're super disciplined. It's connected to your sense of purpose. And I feel like, you're on it, and there's a lot of success there. It will increase your finances. A lot of you with that Six of Pentacles, whether you're in business or not, I feel like you're trying to think about second streams of income or portioning up your finances to develop them in different ways to make your money work for you rather than you like working hard for your money, which I feel like you do already, of course. But the Six of Pentacles is remaining balanced in your finances. And also, this is a little aside energy. Some of you may apply to do some charitable work at the end of the year. So it's odd that it's at the end of the year, but perhaps you have to apply for something or send in an application to help out in some shape or form with a charity, because I see charitable work going on here. It's like you're paying it forward as well. So that's coming out there as well. Now, let's get back to the practicalities, because my guides brought me, of course, a lot in the direction of your career endeavors and breakthroughs with ideas and, being very explorative in the working environment that leads to rewards. And of course, you really being seen in your working environment. But in terms of your personal life, I feel like you're trying to remain measured, create balance and simplicity in your life, just to keep life, working smoothly there. The Hierophant, you're learning more about what you're capable of. You're learning that you came to this lifetime to be a leader. So you may be standing up for something you believe in at this time, or getting involved in the community to help out in some way. Because of course, the Hierophant is a community card as well as a belief card. So a lot of you are reinforcing your belief in yourself and reaffirming your life philosophy this month. And with that Six of Pentacles and the Hierophant, some of you may portion off a little bit of money to invest in a course of learning. So this could be like a language, or it could be developing a skill set for a career, or maybe it's you, honing a creative skill in some way. You may even be downloading knowledge from the internet at this time in order to just be informed, okay? But with that Hierophant energy, this is all about structure. So it's really interesting that these three cards are saying to you, yes, it's a busy month. You have a lot on your to-do list, but the way you approach it is very measured and structured, and it means you're going to get a lot done, okay? Now, your 12th house is, of course, influencing you. It's not a surprise to see these two cards there. And I guess the Emperor can be connected to the 6th house as well, because it's about structure. So that 6 of Pentacles there is your 6th house, routines, reinvesting in your body, paying attention to your body's needs, refining your goals, looking at the details, the specifics, setting, milestone kind of goals to reach that are achievable, as it were, breaking down things into steps to calculate the way. And of course, the Hierophant is all about your 12th house. It's the deepest part of your chart, where you're going to feel a little bit more sensitive than usual. You're going to look at your commitments to your higher self, to your spiritual path, your belief system, your religion, if you are religious. This is about developing a deeper sense of awareness and receiving important information. And of course, right at the end of the month, you're going to feel your ancestors' presence or your guides' presence in order to help you on the next steps of your path. But the Hierophant is an energy of showing up for yourself, and it is about tradition. So a lot of you could lean into rituals during this month, and rituals don't have to be like creating a money altar to remove a money block. It can be your rituals as in your beauty routines, to reinforce those beauty routines, or certain rituals where you give back to yourself, because the 6 of Pentacles is make sure that you are balanced. Make sure all that you're giving out, you're giving back to yourself there as well. Now we do have the Maturity card. Again, I'm not surprised to see this, because of course the Hierophant can be about your legacy. Okay, and this is your commitments to create your legacy, or, really think about who you are and how you affect the people in the world around you. And of course, as we move through the end of October, we move into your season, my beautiful Scorpio. So happy birthday to all you wonderful Scorpios who have a birthday at the end of October. And of course, all you beautiful Scorpios who have a birthday in November as well. That's important too. I'm a November Scorpio, so happy birthday. You can have a magical time, but it's going to be a very reflective time about your sense of purpose, your legacy. And as you mature, you're really going to be looking at, where you felt you gave away your power in situations, where you felt someone, didn't see your true potential, or moments where people undervalued you, underestimated you, or downright disrespected you. And you're going to be like looking at yourself now and how powerful you are in your position now, and really recognize that some of those experiences, they were the fuel for your rise. Okay, so I feel a lot of you could come to some sort of revelation on that, because of course the Hierophant can be revelation of how some of those challenging moments helped you elevate and push you forward and be the real powerhouse that you are today, because you are. Okay, so with that card, the maturity card indicates that as you mature, you start to think about your legacy, but also it can be that, you know, you're falling in love with parts of yourself that you've grappled away with loving. It can be that you are finding more emotional security in yourself, that you recognize that you are someone who shows up for yourself. You're your own best friend a lot of the time. So it can be that you're becoming more comfortable in your own skin and nourishing yourself in different ways. This card also indicates that, you know, you have struggled with something. For some of you, don't shoot the messenger when I say this, some of you may have struggled with pride, that you've had to do it all. You know, you're the sort of person that shows up, you do it all yourself, and it can be that you may be looking at a softer side of yourself where you can lean into moments of, you know, sharing what you're going through. Telling people that you're under a lot of strain, pressure, responsibility, and duty. I mean, the Emperor is there, so it can indicate that you may be sharing duties with someone during the month of October. This could be with a family member, a soul tribe member, or it can be that you're sharing a part of yourself that normally you have locked off. You know, your sensitive side really comes to the fore, and it may even surprise you who you share a part of yourself with. And that's coming through very strongly. It's like someone you never imagined you would give a private part of you. It could be because you're trying to give them some advice, okay? And it's like you give a nugget of truth about yourself, and it's like, oh, didn't imagine I would say that. But actually it fosters a deeper relationship with this person, and suddenly they see you, the softer side of you, because sometimes people misunderstand. You know, you've gone through a life where you've had a lot of challenge and you show up for yourself. You've often learnt that you have to, you know, be self-sufficient and show up for yourself. And to the outside world, it shows that you're very capable, which you are. But people don't see the inside, that sometimes you struggle with things. There's moments where you know, feel a lot of pressure, and you may have that private side of yourself where you release that emotion, you know, quiet tears, and challenges there. And people just see the strength that you have. They don't see the softer side because you're normally too busy being practical with life and showing up for yourself. But I feel there is a person who actually looks at you as being someone who is super strong, and of course you are, but there's just a moment in the month of October where they see the softer side of you and they're like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that side of you before. And it really just opens up a new relationship with this person. Now, this could be with your boss. So this could be with a neighbor. It could be with someone that you have challenge with, because there is a Five of Pentacles. It can be someone that you kind of dismissed maybe in your life and thought, you know what, you don't know what I'm going through. But suddenly there is an affinity moment where two people really understand each other. It's like two people going through different things, but perhaps feeling pressure, feeling that it's been a lot, and just having a moment where you confide in each other and saying, you know, it's been tough, okay? And you just find an affinity in that relationship, and it builds moving forward from there, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. This card, of course, indicates that, you know, you are being very creative. You are removing drama from your life, simplifying life in some way, having the courage of heart to move forward with something, and of course, quieten the inner critic. You tend to be extra critical upon yourself, and especially during moments of pressure. So I feel a lot of you are being a little bit more compassionate with yourself. Now we have the Emperor energy here, okay? A lot of you may have struggled with people in your life not respecting you or not seeing your true power. Well, they're going to see a measure of you in this month, how successful you are. But I feel like you're only proving to yourself whatever it is that you're doing at this time. And you're going to be feeling so proud of yourself there as well, because there is an energy here about pride. There's many different types of pride. There can be pride where you kind of like, in spite of yourself, don't ask for help. or don't lean into sharing or, delegating, for example. But also there can be pride that you did something that you accomplished. Some of you, when it comes to business, because this is a very strong business card, it can be that you're launching your own business or you're launching something that sets you apart from other people. You've been brave, you're conquering something, and you should be really proud of yourself. Also, the Emperor energy can indicate that you have dealt with a person who perhaps has had a nasty ego in the past or abused their power, and you could be coming to terms with this challenging aspect or experience you had with a person. But because you have the Emperor in your protagonist energy, I just feel like you're going to be showing yourself what you're capable of this month. And I feel like there's a lot of power, success, and of course, self-control. I mean, this is a card of being stricter with yourself. So this could be stricter with your goals, with your diet, with your money. And it's not because there's any deficiency here. I feel like with this Five of Pentacles in this position, it's like you don't want to waste time, you have felt drained in your energy recently, or you feel there's been distractions, or you feel other people's stuff has been getting in the way of your stuff, and you're like, I want to cancel out the noise, the distraction, in order to focus on what's important. So, I mean, financially, because we have the Five of Pentacles in the resistance position, which basically means, returning to better financial times or finding a way to take down debt or even, use debt as leverage for a purchase or some sort of investment tool. You could be looking at debt in general because the Emperor is a business person. And as we get older, we start to seek structures that can help us lock onto finances. So some of you may be looking at generational wealth cycles or getting advice from someone to help you with taking down debt or repayment plans or how to utilize loans and debt and all of the stuff that those, mavericks and entrepreneurs talk about online. You could be learning about that at this time in order to set yourself financially free. Okay, so that's something that perhaps you may be looking at or getting advice on. Now, the Five of Pentacles is an alternative form of abundance, an overlooked treasure. And a lot of you, there's an energy here of you being very talented, very gifted, very creative. So a lot of you could lean into this talent. I don't feel it's a hidden talent. I feel like it's there, but you're like, I haven't had time to develop this, or haven't felt that that's the path to lock onto. But you may be called to do that this month, to look at this, because I just feel here that this is an energy of longing to do something that perhaps has been calling to you for a while, and it's there. The Emperor is like, you're going to factor in time to be able to do it. Okay, so I feel like you're revisiting a talent that you have not quite nurtured yet, but you will develop it further, and it's going to be so exciting. Some of you could actually even go to a course or be involved in a group activity or a place where it brings people together in order to make a difference or get involved, or an association that helps you develop this talent or gift. It opens doors for you, whatever it is. So even if you're like working in a very serious job, for example, or even if you're retired now, you've come to a position where you're retired and you've got more time for you to think about your life philosophy and who you are and give back to yourself. There could be a talent there that you're like, always wanted to be a painter, always wanted to do landscapes in oils. I know this is very specific, but it will be specific to you. Suddenly you start to be curious about it, and suddenly you start to do it. Suddenly it opens doors for you. So even in retirement, it could be that suddenly you become a well-known artist, oil painting artist, landscape artist, for example. For some of you, it could be even doesn't have to be in retirement. It could be something that you enjoy doing as a hobby, and it becomes a business for you, and it brings in second streams of income. Because the Six of Pentacles is a lot of you thinking about duality, which are second streams of income. Okay, and I only mention that because you have very business-minded cards with the Emperor and the Hierophant, structure, money. There's just a lot going on financially, and of course you will be noticing that right now in the world there's a lot of economic disarray, volatility, and you may be noticing that prices are increasing and you're just finding a way to get a better deal. So I feel with that Five of Pentacles and the Emperor, it's about you being really savvy and paying less for something that normally costs more. So I feel like you're being diligent and vigilant and keeping your eyes peeled so that you don't lose out in life. You get the good deal or give back to yourself in some way, but you get it at a discount. Now, some of you, you may also be focusing on reward cards, discounts, you know, maybe even loyalty cards. For example, you may have accumulated a lot of loyalty points on a card and you may be able to purchase something with that that just makes you feel a little spring in your step there. That's coming through there as well. Also, if you're going to apply for something, get involved in something, or interview for something at this time, I would say with that Five of Pentacles, remember who you are, because this card, your protagonist energy is the Emperor, which means you have a lot of personal power, but sometimes there's a little bit of doubt there, seed of doubt. This card reminds you of what you have that other people do not have. This is about you standing out. This is about you acknowledging what you bring to a situation that other people don't. And that includes relationships. You know, you are ride or die. You're all in when it comes to your friendships, your relationships. So if you're currently searching for a relationship, you know, you may be focusing on giving back to yourself at this time and almost kind of resigned yourself to the fact that you're committed to yourself at this moment in time. But I see at the end of the month you talking to someone new. And of course, Page of Wands is a spark between you and someone new and the potential for this to turn into a long-term commitment. Doesn't have to be just friendship. I do see a lot of you meeting a person who becomes a friend, but if you're searching for love, this is a loyal mate coming on in, something that you want to explore. And of course, this person is connected to your sense of purpose or is connected to somewhere you feel called to be or go. And you meet this person there, okay? Also, I see a lot of exciting invitations coming in for you where you have really great conversations and alignments with people. I'm going to pull a quick card on that Five of Pentacles for you because this is a card of resolving a negative situation or hope returning in a situation or recovering from something. I would say a lot of you have been burning the candle at both ends, and balance is the key, because if you don't remain balanced, especially October, you've got a lot going on there. There is a potential to leave yourself wide open for a seasonal cold. Okay, I hate to say that, but it's there. Also, I feel some of you, in terms of your body, you may discover a vitamin deficiency or a mineral deficiency that perhaps has been making you feel lethargic, and you kind of like re-enter it into your diet. You may have even been taking something, or, you know, and I don't really know exactly, I'm just being given this by my guides right now. There's certain minerals or vitamins that if you take them together, they kind of cancel each other out. Maybe you have to take them at different times or with different foods or substances, I'm not sure. But there could be something that you've been taking with another thing that has been canceling the actual vitamin out and making you feel a little bit lethargic. If that's you, you're going to discover that in the month of October, and you're just going to get back on top of things, okay? So we have Page of Wands again. So whatever this is, I mean, this card in this position is super, super positive, okay? It just feels like a lot of you are looking at the missing ingredients in your life, and you're getting busy being like curious, creative, passionate. Eight of Cups and the Death card, something big is ending and beginning for you here. The Death card is, of course, a Scorpio card. Whenever you show up in your own reading, it means a big change that you are making. This could be a lifestyle change. Could be you turning down things that waste your time, things that you're not interested in, letting go of things that you go, you know what, I'm not going to involve myself in that. I'm not going to invest in that. Six of Pentacles are things that you're investing in. Five of Pentacles, you're like, if I invest in that, it may waste my energy, waste my time. It's not something I'm interested in. And I feel a lot of you are just owning your time better with that Emperor energy. But the Eight of Cups, a lot of you are walking away from something that's not been fulfilling. But also this is a big journey of discovery month for you with that Eight of Cups. And you're seeking deeper meaning, deeper conversations, deeper events. I mean, I just feel like you are fully connected. You're excited at the end of the month, and you're locked on to so much possibility and potential. Death card, a lot of you could also be cutting out a habit. You're structuring yourself with that Emperor energy. You're being stricter. You're cutting out a habit. Maybe it's a food substance that you feel makes you lethargic, or, you know, really messes with your equilibrium or with your hormones in some way. You're cutting it out. The Death card says it is done. So that's breaking a bad habit. But also it can be that, you know, you are at a period where you're about to have a major breakthrough and you're creating space for something better to come into your life, reigniting that spark. It feels almost like whatever it is you're doing, the end of the month, you come alive, you're excited, okay? And there's the 8 of Cups. 8 is the number of the self. So a lot of you could be like looking at where you feel like you have spent time that you felt disappointed after spending time in that place or with that person, and kind of like making declarations to self, like, I'm not going to do that again. I'm just evolving away from this. Also, whoever walks away on the 8 of Cups often walks straight into the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. Page of Wands is exploration mode. It means that spark is returning. I mean, for some of you, this could be that, you know, you're going to go traveling. Okay, this is the explorer of the deck there. So because you have that Page of Wands twice, it is highlighting, even in a different deck, that there's some exciting news coming in, something you're enthusiastic. But I feel this is about you dreaming boldly, but living loud, living louder than perhaps you have been for a while, because a lot of you have been in a hermit mode. This is about you saying, I'm here, I matter. This is something that's important to me. So I feel like you're taking back your power. Now we have higher calling. A lot of you, those rituals may be connected to, you know, ancestral connections during Samhain, but also this can be a connection to your goals, your dreams, and your sense of purpose. You are purpose-led, but also you're leading with passion. And this card indicates that your passion is going to carry you through. A lot more energy and vitality at the end of the month there as well. But this means you're reaching for something more. So you could be like launching something new, or making a lifestyle change or choice that you just feel is the right direction, and it just helps you have that breakthrough. Ace of Swords actually means that you're being responsible, that you're taking accountability for your life, and you have a lot of power in that. The decisions are yours, but this is a card of discipline. It also means that destiny and fate intervene to transform your life, and you're going to see lots of meaningful coincidences to help you on your path, and things are going to be happening at great speed at the end of the month. So structure is going to be important, because the latter part of the month you're going to be super busy, okay? But, you know, I love the Ace of Swords because it means new projects, new ideas, things bubbling up, you calculating the way, structuring things in a way where you have the courage of your convictions to own your truth and live your truth and make things happen. You know, this is a card of making things happen on your own time and, you know, forging a way forward, you know, shining your light, being active. I feel also this is you being a free spirit. You know, this is you kind of, it's almost like you have an idea or you have some advice and you're acting on it. And it just feels like the next steps are putting a spring in your step because you have that sense of purpose. These two cards actually align and your ideas have value. And I feel like you're not afraid to venture forward. This could be the beginning of a new project for a lot of you. Also, I would say important documents this month from either governing bodies or legal documentation will capture your attention. I mean, the Emperor, 5 of Pentacles, I mean, I think this is for the collective as well. There could be a legal document that perhaps goes unnoticed or goes to a spam folder, or it's just hard to get it. I mean, it doesn't feel like a delivery problem. It feels like it gets delivered and it either goes unseen or it gets put to the sidelines. So just watch out for that. Because the Emperor is there, it feels very much like a legal letter. So this could be connected to your mortgage or to like a landlord perhaps, or maybe it's to a business. It just feels like there's an important legal letter. So just be mindful to check all your correspondence this month, because I feel there's something here you do not want to miss, okay? I mean, I feel in terms of your finances, it's kind of business as usual, but there seems to be a small increase there. So some of you could hear of a small bonus or raise that could be coming in at the end of the year. For some of you, it's an appraisal in your career where you're doing a great job, and there's like a door to more here being talked about. But I feel a lot of you are moving your finances around, making your money work for you, locking off money that you cannot touch so it can compound on itself there. I feel you're purpose led this month, and a lot of you could be like holding it all together, trying to get everything done, extra duties, extra responsibilities that you may share, as I mentioned earlier, with other people. But it could be because you're about to have a lifestyle change, or you're about to go on a vacation, perhaps. It could be a quick trip for a lot of you, actually. Maybe you're gearing up to a bigger vacation as you move into your birthday season. A lot of you are celebrating yourself, how far you've come, you know. But I feel productive, organized. These are buzzwords that you're applying to your life for this month. And I feel like there's a lot of optimism and good news at the end on the way that things turn out. I mean, look, even in a different deck, we've got the word prospects, securing your future. That's definitely, you're protecting everything you worked really hard for. I mean, also a lot of you, in terms of global events with the Emperor and the Hierophant there, and the Emperor in the resistance position, a lot of you are looking at the structures in society right now, not trusting what's going on, feeling there's a real abuse of power going on. And, you know, you're locking into your goals, your dreams, your sense of purpose, and you're not allowing worry or fear to rob you of joy or the present moment. That's very important there. You know, a lot of you with that Page of Wands, there is this desire for freedom, or there is this desire to, you know, be action oriented, or take action, or confront something that perhaps you stand up for or you believe in at this time. And you just could be looking at how things have been unfair, or finding your voice, because we have that Ace of Swords there, in order to communicate what you feel is right for your future. Because the Judgment energy is always about, you know, something is ending or shifting or changing, and you are finding your way towards something better for you. But in that, you must communicate what is better for you. So a lot of you could be doing that at this time as well. Also, the Ace of Swords, some of you writing down your thoughts, documenting how you feel. You may even set up your own business connected to your thoughts and how you communicate those thoughts. Or you could be writing a book, screenplay, poetry, music, because you're very creative at the end of the month there. But this is something, even if it's a hobby, it can become a financial reality for you, a business. And Ace of Swords, social media, online. I feel a lot of you may actually be making your presence known in online platforms. There could even be a partnership there if you're trying to launch a business online there as well. But Ace of Swords, I would say what you have to say matters, and you're not holding back. Okay. Of course, Libra season, diplomacy is the key, but you're speaking your truth. Libra season means that there is a unity in speaking truth. So this can apply to your personal circumstances with a boss, for example, or a neighbor, or a landlord or landlady, or it can be, you know, locally in your community, or even, you know, writing letters to government to say, hey, look, I stand for this, or I do not stand for this. I agree with this. I do not stand for that. I feel this is, you know, you making your voice heard and realizing you have a lot of power in this situation. So that's something that's coming through there as well. I even mentioned the word compound. I've just seen it there in your final cards. But it says here, prospects, securing your future, wise spending. I think I mentioned that already. Speculation, so that is, you know, speculate to accumulate. It's got speculation to acquire here. Compounding and fund. So a lot of you are focused on your financial prospects at this time. And of course, a lot of you will be connecting to your spirituality, your belief system, and doing rituals or leaning into traditions at this time as well in order to connect to your higher self and, you know, develop your personal growth, as it were, withdrawing in order to focus on what's important, whether that's projects. But I feel this Page of Wands is asking you to get integrated into community or lean into invitations where there's a lot of exciting people or creative moments, or even like ambiance where people just feel good. So you could be invited to something at the end of the month there. Could be a party gathering for some of you, and it just feels very exciting. We've got potential, trying out your wings. Okay, so you could be launching something. It says budding talent. I did mention that. You have a talent that you haven't quite tapped into, but it's budding. So you're going to develop that a little bit further. Restlessness, air travel, upward progress. So yeah, some of you are going to be traveling this month, but there's definitely advancement and progress here. If you feel like you've reached a plateau, I feel like you're smashing through a glass ceiling because there's an ace here. Aces are new potential. And it can be that you're migrating your skills or transferring your knowledge into something new. Some of you may be even moving to a new neighborhood during this time, or just calculating your finances to see if you can move to a neighborhood that you've desired to move to for some time. Well, you're going to find a way. I want you to be aware of that. Also, we have umbrella, which means you're protected and directed accordingly. But it says here, all under one roof, consolidating, working in-house, many hats, far-reaching, and having everything covered. So I feel like you're, going to be doing everything, of course. That did come up in your reading. But I feel this is being really proud of yourself that you got it all done. I mean, the umbrella means like the structure of everything that's kind of underneath that. So it can be that you're keeping things running smoothly, but also umbrellas protect you against storms. I don't see any storms here for you, but if you're in a part of the world where there is increased storms at this moment in time, I feel like you may be protecting your area there. I mean, looking at the energy, it seems positive. But I feel this is about working really hard to make your life work and knowing that you have a lot of duty and there's lots of compartments to the way that you run your life. Wearing many hats means you're doing it all, okay? But I feel like you're doing it in style and you have a lot of power and you're going to get a lot done and you're going to celebrate yourself there as well, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or room before we close. Now, this month is also a big month for healing, especially with your 12th house there. So if you revisit any past thoughts or experiences that trigger you, I feel this is a month to really rise above those. And also, I feel like you're forgiving situations in order to set yourself free karmically so it doesn't weigh you down, so that, anger or sadness or pain or sorrow does not eat you up inside because it's affecting you inside. Okay, so I feel like you may be releasing it to set yourself free. Also, I feel a lot of you are focused on your mind, the inner critic, mental wellness there, your mental health at this time as well, and having more compassion with yourself. But look, we've got a broomstick. I mean, 6th house is like clearing house. So a lot of you are keeping your house in order with that broomstick. I mean, also we have Halloween. So a lot of you beautiful Scorpios, this is where you come alive and you really delve a little bit deeper into the occult or into, what's beyond the veil, spirituality, or, spooky movies, documentaries on the unknown or space, or, maybe even go on a... I don't like calling them this, but I know that they are called this. So I'm going to call it like paranormal investigations rather than ghost hunts. I don't like that. Ghost hunts don't hunt spirits, okay? They're always around. They don't need to be hunted. They went through some stuff like we all do. So I don't like to call it like that. But some of you may have organized some sort of paranormal kind of investigation because you're an investigator, my beautiful Scorpio. So some of you may just move into a little bit more of the spooky side of life, or into the paranormal at the end of the month because of the season we're in. But you've got a broomstick as well, so come on. But also, the broomstick can indicate that you're developing your spiritual gifts, leaning into your kitchen witch, perhaps exploring new recipes or maybe exploring new spiritual rituals in some way. You've got the mirror here as well, so this is reflecting on how far you've come, but also looking at yourself in the mirror and actually being really proud of yourself, falling in love with yourself a little bit deeper, and seeing, the life that you aspire to achieve start reflecting back to you. I feel like you've invested a lot into your life and now you're going to see the rewards reflected back to you there as well. I mean, some of you may literally purchase, a mirror, but these two, trinkets are practical. So I feel a lot of you are going to be very practical this month there as well in order to keep everything in order. And yes, lean into beauty rituals because you have that mirror as well. paying attention to your own needs. A lot of you have been in a state of action, or even for some of you in fight or flight mode, holding it all together. And I feel this month is you leaning into coziness or into traditions, but also, yes, you're going to explore some new things at the end of the month. But I feel a lot of you, this is about feeling like things are starting to settle and go in the direction that you hope for, because I see a lot of positive things happening here for you. So I want you to be aware of that. There is progress, and upward progress at that. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates for you, my beautiful Scorpio. Have the most magical October indeed. Thank you so much, and love and light.